Temperatures might have you reaching for an extra layer today, but spring is indeed here in Connecticut, and that also means one thing for people with allergies, that is pollen. First Alert meteorologist Scott Gagliardi is live outside on our Channel 3 patio explaining what we can expect. I know some people are already sniffling, Scott.
Yeah, they really are, and unfortunately, I wish I had better news, but when it comes to the colder temperatures, it can slow down the release of pollen, but the primary source of these spring allergens is really the angle of the sun, as opposed to the day-to-day weather that we've been seeing, something not too many people, I'm sure, are happy about. Now, the lengthening days and the sun's more direct rays are triggering the release of pollen from trees like maple, birch, and oak, some of the earliest and most potent allergy offenders in our state. Local allergists are already reporting an uptick in patients experiencing the familiar symptoms such as itchy eyes, running nose, sneezing, and even aggravated asthma. But there is a disconnect between the perceived cold and an active pollen season that can catch many people off guard.
The temperature doesn't have a tremendous impact, but as the season goes on, we're going to see more patients having symptoms, both new patients and old. So I think, especially next week, if it's nice out and patients are going outside, then there's going to be more problems.
Now, it's important to remember that the trees are on their own schedule dictated by the sunlight. So even though you might be wearing your winter coat, if you're experiencing allergy symptoms, it's likely the early tree pollen to blame. So while the thermometer might not scream spring on a day like today, it's really just be prepared, take precautions in terms of allergy medicines, and don't underestimate the power of the sun when it comes to ushering in the spring season. But for now, live on the patio, First Alert meteorologist and your reporter, Scott Gagliardi, Channel 3 Eyewitness News. And Mike, as we get a final check of our First Alert forecast here in the 4 o'clock hour, I know we talked about it earlier, but Kara, what's happening over the next couple of days, unfortunately, it's looking pretty wet, especially by the time we get towards the weekend.
Yeah, okay.